This video is sponsored by Huawei. One of the most important things to me is a good pair of true wireless earbuds. No matter where I go or what I do, I carry these around with me everywhere, and they're almost like an extension of me. So when picking up a new pair, there are a couple of things that I think are really important. Firstly, it's sound quality. Can they give me the best listening experience possible? And then next, it's just how they fit, because if they don't fit well, it doesn't matter how good they sound. And then what I also really want from a good pair of headphones is good call quality, because I want people on the other end to be able to actually hear what I'm saying to them. And finally, what I need them to do is block out every single annoying street sound, noisy person and big crowd that I could ever possibly come across. And even with my Android phone, my go-to headphones usually are the AirPods Pro 2, but Huawei did get in touch and they asked me, did I want to try their brand new FreeBuds Pro 4? And let me tell you, these are impressive. I can tell you how good the headphones are by spec alone, but I feel like sometimes you just need to be able to use the headphones so you can see what they're like day to day. So I want to try and give you more of a real world experience of how good these headphones really are. And I've been using these HUAWEI FreeBuds Pro 4 now for a couple of weeks, and they're genuinely my new go-to wireless headphones. I listen to music all day, every day. If I'm sat writing scripts, going to the store, out on a run, there isn't really a second where I'm not listening to something. And as I mentioned, the AirPods Pro 2 are usually my go-to because I feel like they just sound a lot better than a lot of other headphones that I've tested. Until recently, because I feel like the HUAWEI FreeBuds Pro 4 just take this a step above. And a lot of that is going to be down to that 2.3 Mbit lossless audio, which by the way is an industry first. And straight away, you can just tell the sound difference between these and the AirPods Pro 2. This is something that the AirPods Pro 2 just don't have, because they have the AAC codec, which is lossy. And what it means essentially is that on the FreeBuds Pro 4, you're going to be getting a much higher sound quality than you are if you pick up the AirPods Pro 2. And I know sound is mostly subjective and it's really hard to show you the sound difference on a video, but trust me, if you try the AirPods Pro 2 and then switch to the HUAWEI FreeBuds Pro 4, you can tell that sound difference and the quality straight away. If you remember, one of my must-haves for headphones is sound quality on calls, and a lot of headphones that you use, the call quality is awful. But for the first time with the HUAWEI FreeBuds Pro 4, I feel like that I'm not gonna have to compromise on sound quality when I'm making those calls, because trust me, when you make a call, these sound impressively good. Now I'm gonna do a call test here with the FreeBuds Pro 4 and the AirPods Pro 2, so you can tell the difference in the voice isolation when you make a call for the end user. And there's a couple of hundred people here, so I feel like this is a really good place to test them. So let's start with the AirPods Pro 2. And I feel like everyone kind of has these, and they're standard for what you'd expect on a voice call, but the voice isolation isn't as good as it is on the FreeBuds Pro 4. This is where you might be able to tell the difference in the isolation of the voice, especially when you're making a call to the end user, because the background sound is almost completely eliminated, and you can tell that the headphones are doing some really good work here to focus solely on my voice and cut out everything else which is around me. And back to the AirPods Pro 2, and I actually don't think that these are terrible, but the isolation just isn't as good as it is on the FreeBuds Pro 4. And when you're making a call, the one thing you want to be able to do is have the person on the other end actually hear you. And back to the FreeBuds Pro 4, and this is where you can tell the difference in the voice isolation. Lots of announcements, a couple of hundred people just walking along by and doing their own thing here, but the one thing that you can notice is that my voice is completely isolated. One thing that I've also noticed whilst wearing these FreeBuds Pro 4 is how good the noise cancellation is. And I thought the AirPods Pro 2 had excellent noise cancellation, but until you try these, you just don't know what you're missing. Using AirPods Pro 2, you can still hear sounds creeping through, which I hadn't even realized until I started using the FreeBuds. The FreeBuds Pro 4 kind of just block out everything, even if you're in a stadium full of music and people. And where I have found that the FreeBuds Pro 4 to come in really handy is on the tram. Now the trams in Manchester, they are really loud and they're screechy, and with the AirPods Pro 2 you can still hear all of that tram sound, but the FreeBuds Pro 4, they just cancel everything out and you can't hear a thing. They have 3 layered shape memory foam ear tips that fit so snug into my ear, and I had to switch between a few sizes that you get in the box to find the right size, but as soon as I did, these just sounded great. And because they fit so well, it means you just get a much better experience when you're listening to that lossless audio, or when you're wanting just to cancel out the sounds of the world around you. Not only do they sound good as well, but the FreeBuds Pro 4 also look really premium. And now the case is a little bit bigger comparing that to the AirPods AirPods Pro 2, but I honestly really don't mind that because the finish of this is much nicer. The case has this really nice gold accent around it, which I feel makes these stand out against the AirPods. And also my favorite part of this case is it has a matte finish rather than the glossy one on the AirPods Pro 2, and overall it feels more premium because of that finish. And the glossy case of the AirPods Pro 2 tends to show up more scratches over time, whereas the matte finish should hold up a little bit more on the FreeBuds Pro 4. The headphones have all the touch gestures you'd expect as well, so 2 taps to answer calls, 3 taps for previous and next song, and you can also turn on and off noise cancellation, switching between awareness mode just by pressing and holding. They can also connect to 2 devices simultaneously, and they're IP54 rated, so it means that against a splash of water, these are going to do just fine. Even though Huawei did send me these to test against the AirPods Pro 2 and kindly sponsored the video, I've got to say, sound quality is fantastic. Being able to make calls and have people hear me and not hear what's going on around me, and the fact that they fit better than most wireless earbuds that I've tried is just a bonus. I rarely swap out a pair of headphones when I found a good pair, but I think that the AirPods Pro 2, it's time for them to be retired, and they're going to get replaced with the brand new Huawei FreeBuds Pro 4.